Hola, ¿cómo está? Today in this live video, we are going to be talking about how to scale and automate with webinar funnels, okay? I'm going to be breaking down first the essential steps you need to take or consider when building out your sales funnel. So this is kind of the 30,000 foot view of a webinar funnel, what you're going to need inside of it. And these 3 steps can actually be broken down within writing the webinar itself, and I'll actually go over that in Thursday's video. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I go live and talk about webinars, sales funnels, advertising, and follow-up, so you can learn how to scale and automate your courses, your high-ticket offers, and really present your brand and your offers in a way that's compelling and that sells. Okay, so number one, before we get started, is at callwithshane.com. I have a free 30-minute training that's going to teach you how to identify your perfect prospect, so you can really come up with a message that sells and is compelling to create better content, and then also how to design simple, high-converting sales funnels, and then of course your follow-up, because the money is made in the follow-up. So without further ado, we've got the introduction. Okay, number one is the introduction. So what is included in the introduction? This is when this is before anyone ever lands on our sales funnel, and it's actually going to also be on the sales funnel, because we get the attention and then they land on the sales funnel. We also need to keep that attention. So number one is we need to be dog whistling. Okay, so what does dog whistle mean? When I say dog whistle, I mean we want to call out to our perfect prospects. So we need to first have done that research. We need to know exactly who we're targeting. If you're in the space of helping people make more money, it's pretty generic. But if you're helping people make more money in internet marketing through webinars, like what I'm doing, that's very specific area of expertise. And also, maybe course creators or whatever the case may be, you identify who that is, but you call them out. So in the description of this video, it says, attention coaches, consultants, and service-based business owners. Okay, so what that allows me to do is call out who I want to actually watch this video. So if you're watching this video, you may have seen that and gone, that's me. Or if not, then maybe you're just here for some entertainment. So hopefully I can provide both. So be dog whistling. In the introduction, you need to call out who the message is for. Because not only do we want that, but we want to be able to make sure that the people that land on our sales funnel are the right people. We don't want to just create content for everybody and have everybody land on the page and just start signing up, because that doesn't really tell us a lot about our offer, if it's good or not. It's just telling us that we're getting a lot of opt-ins, but is it the right prospect? Okay, and the way you do that is by knowing who this is and calling them out. Okay, in the introduction, we also want to provide a hook. Okay, so the hook it's like the hook to the end. It's like kind of in my description here, it's scale and automate with webinar funnels. So if you are a coach, a consultant, or whatever, and you currently have a product or a service and you just want to grow and scale and automate your efforts so it becomes a lot easier, so you're not in your business, that might be enticing to you. So that hook is going to be, there's a framework for that, and it's going to be how to blank without blank. Okay, how to blank without blank. So how to scale and automate without spending a fortune. And so you need to understand what the frustration is, which would be this part, and then this is the desire. Okay, so that's going to be your hook. It's dog whistling, but it's telling them what they're going to get by watching the video. Okay, so I'm actually going to erase that. Okay, so you got a hook, and then you need to provide some value. The value piece is to demonstrate that we are a force to be reckoned with, someone that actually knows what we're talking about. You know, in the internet space, there is a lot of diluted information. You could get lost in YouTube purgatory, they call it, when you are going through YouTube trying to find ways of doing things. If you're researching sales funnels, there's infinite ways to build them, but you could get lost in the sauce and not even get anywhere because there's so many things to learn. So you need to provide value and show them that your way is the best way. And this doesn't have to be a video. This can be sales copy. This can be the content that actually brings them to the sales funnel. The value can be just headlines or some text on like a registration page. And I'll actually map out what the webinar funnel would look like after I go over this. But provide some value, show them that you can actually help them, or at least provide interest. So if they know that it's for them and what they're gonna get, so the hook and the interest are pretty much the same, I would say. You're hooking their interest so that they would sign up for your webinar, your live webinar or your automated webinar, but then you provide some value, okay? So, now, once they have registered for your webinar, you've created enough interest and they know who it's for and they've signed up, they need to go through an indoctrination process. They need to really get to know you, because there's going to be some people that attend, there's going to be people that don't attend, there's going to be people that just barely watch any of it, there's going to be people that watch the whole thing, there's going to be people that watch the offer and don't buy. So there's different segments that you can do when it comes to your follow-up and stuff like that. But the indoctrination process allows us to stay in front of that person, let's say in a live scenario, before, let's say you've got 7 days before your live call. Well, there's 3 steps or 3 follow-up emails, let's say, before they actually attend the webinar, so that way when they get on the webinar they know, like, and trust you, but they're also really excited about what you're about to teach them. And it helps increase the amount of people that actually show up, because you might get 100 people to register, but let's say only 10 show up, especially if you're not following up within that time frame of when your live webinar is. If you're not following up throughout that process, people are going to forget about you. People will forget that they even registered within 24 hours of signing up. So you have to stay on the ball. When they register, send them an email immediately. Say, hey, here's your stuff. And then maybe even the same day, say, here's some more stuff. Watch out for tomorrow's email. In the indoctrination process, there's a few different things that we can do. I hate that it does that blurry stuff. There's a few different things that we can do, right? We can provide a case study, right? So in an email, we can provide a case study, whether that's a screenshot of a testimonial, which I would elaborate more on if it's just a screenshot. But if you've got a video, or maybe you've done an interview with a prospect that's gotten the results, so interview, case study, you get the point. Case study, okay? We can overcome objections. I would say do 1 to 3 different objections. So you're going to need to write down what their biggest objections are. And this is going to be, so I'm sorry, let me slow down. What objections are necessary to cover? So that's going to be internal and external beliefs. Internal and external beliefs, okay? So, oh, there's a squirrel right here. Hey, buddy. He wants to come in. Sorry. There's internal and external beliefs. The internal belief is that I can't do it because something within me is limiting me, whether that's money or enough time or whatever the case may be. It's internal. It's a limiting belief. So, but then the external belief that might be limiting would be any outside force that is preventing them from getting the result. You know, I don't have enough influence, not enough people know me, I don't know how to provide enough content, I'm too scared, or that scared would be internal. Okay, but not only the internal and external, but beliefs about your vehicle. So overcome beliefs about, let's say, because my vehicle would be webinars. I teach people how to do webinars to scale and automate their sales process. So I have to overcome objections about webinars. You know, it takes forever, I've never written one. You know, I don't know how to write one, how you know, I don't know the sales process of that. There's a lot of things that would go with that, so you just need to identify those and maybe overcome a couple. Don't go too deep, and don't provide a bunch of value here, as far as like, here's how to do this, but you can provide some value. But you know, overcome the objections, do some case studies, and I would say some Q&A. Okay, so you're gonna do the most frequently asked questions. I don't know, you may have already done a webinar before, or maybe you've gotten feedback from clients that you've written down, which I highly suggest you do, is get the feedback. You know, anything that's negative, maybe the reviews, and you can do this process of research before you, if you don't have any of those frequently asked questions yet, you can do your research by going to Amazon and you know, in that same industry as you, finding books or services that are within your industry, and look at the reviews. You know, the people that are leaving bad reviews, they have a problem, and so you can go in there and find what their problem is and overcome it before they even have it when they're on your webinar. Okay, so your frequently asked questions, and this can all be wrapped up in an email sequence, okay, before they attend the webinar. Okay, now when it comes to the webinar, which is after you've done the indoctrination process and got them to know, like, and trust you, then you've got your invitation. And when I say invitation, I mean this is actually on the webinar, because you're still doing a lot of this on the webinar itself. You're overcoming objections, you're answering questions before people have them, you're providing value, but you're also showing them that there is a better way than what they're currently doing. So in the invitation, we're giving call to actions. We're saying, hey, go buy this thing because it's beneficial, and it's beneficial for this reason. You're also providing a stack, okay? And the stack is your offer. So in your offer, you know, if you were to offer, let's say skincare stuff, okay? But if you were just to offer a lotion, it's just that thing, and so it's only worth its weight in dollars, right? So maybe it's worth $17. Okay, that's all it's worth. But you can stack the offer and provide a lot more value for that one item. You know, maybe that's a video on how to use it, or a checklist of things, steps you need to do to clean your face or prepare for putting the lotion on, or what you need to do after you've put the lotion on, or what to eat so that your face stays cleaner. And I'm not in that space, but that's how you would use the stack. Okay, and then, you know, I would also say in your invitation, you're doing maybe a little bit more Q&A, but repitching. Okay, so you're going over all the benefits, features, and saying you need this now and here's why. So invite them to actually, you have to ask for the sale, right? And anybody that does any sales, whether that's car sales, telemarketing, whatever it is, you have to ask for the sale. And that's one of the things that most salesmen don't do, and why they don't get results is because they don't ask for the sale. Maybe they provide a lot of value and overcome objections, but they're maybe too nervous to say, hey, buy my thing. But at the end of the day, we have to look at our products and services as a benefit to our customer. Hopefully it actually is. And if it's not, you might want to look at what you're doing. But because it's such a benefit, I believe that webinars can really help you scale and automate your business. So I'm going to ask for the sale. Work with me individually, or work in my group setting, because I know it's beneficial. I can teach you the ways that can help you scale and automate your business. So ask for the sale. So now let's get into what that funnel would look like. Okay, and I'm just gonna outline it for you. You've got a registration page, and a couple things that I would like to say about all your funnels is to keep it simple, right? You don't need a freaking background image with all these freaking colors and designs and things moving in and out and a glowing button and it's moving and calling out your name. You literally only need an image, a headline, some subtext, and in your subtext, these are actually going to be like your sub headlines. So maybe your headline is discover the 5 ways to 10x your investment over the next 2 to 5 years. Now, the subtext is actually providing more credibility and value to the actual headline. So you might want to do like 5 of them, and you can write these as secrets. Secret number 1, how the economy is going to crash and crypto is going to take over. I'm not going there, but and then secret 2, you're going to learn how to actually make your first investment. And secret number 3 is how to protect your investment. So you're giving them what they're actually going to learn in the webinar, but you still want to create some intrigue or interest. You don't want to give it all away on the registration page, because they might actually feel like they know what you're going to talk about. They're like, oh, I know everything about crypto and investing, so I'm not going to show up. But you might be showing them a new way that could actually get them that 10x return, but you might hurt yourself by giving too much away. So I literally do a headline, an image of you, the speaker, and then some subtext that provides value to the actual headline, and a button. That's it. And then they just register. They register for that, and my conversions are over 40% consistently, easily. Okay? Now, once it goes to the registration, depending on whether you're doing automated or live, in an automated scenario, I go right to the webinar. I don't want any other steps. I want them to sign up and go right to the webinar, because in today's day and age, I think they say that we have an attention span that's less than a goldfish. So you got to think about that, and that seems a little bit critical, but at the same time, it might be true. So I take them right to the webinar. Let's get right to it. This is what we have. This is what it'll do. This is how you can take action today. Now, if it is in more of a live scenario, maybe more of a confirmation page. Okay, the confirmation is giving them the details of the webinar, and maybe the host. But again, keep it very simple. You could maybe even say, congratulations, you're about to learn X, and then a picture of the host and the details of the webinar. And you could even go as far as putting like your social media links. That's really going to depend on when the live webinar is. If it's the day of, I would take that stuff off, because you don't want them leaving the confirmation page and going to your social media and wasting time. So maybe just leave that part out. Let's keep it simple, right? You could even have a button that people could, when they come visit this page from, let's say, an email, because our emails can direct back to the confirmation page where the button says to go to the live webinar, or our links are inside the are inside the emails. So, and maybe it's both. Okay, but you got your confirmation. The confirmation goes to the webinar. The webinar goes to the sales page, and then an order page, and then another confirmation. Okay, so this is the sales process for a live webinar, okay? But there's a couple other steps. When I talked about indoctrination here, after the confirmation in our emails, this is gonna start spitting out our emails, okay? And email number one, it takes us to a page on objections, okay? And then in this email, it's taking us to Q&A, some Q&A. And then in this email, case study. Okay, so now we've got our objections, our Q&A, and our case study, which is all bringing us back to the webinar. Okay, now something else that I would like to say about the live webinar is that you want to record it, and you want to provide a replay sequence, so bring them back. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do with segmenting. Let's say on ActiveCampaign, that's the superior automation, email automation software. But you can segment people, so if they watch, a certain amount of time and they don't see the offer, then you can send them back to the replay to see the offer. You can, if they miss it completely, you can stay in front of them and say, hey, why didn't you make it? That type of stuff. So you want to stay following up, but you also want to make sure you record and send the replay. And then, because the idea, this is our sales process right here. This is the ultimate selling machine. This is our salesman that is working 24 hours, 7 days a week, no sleep, no rest, and doesn't ask for a dime. The only dime that you're paying for is the software. Okay? There's no commissions or anything like that for this webinar salesman. Okay? This is where a lot of focus should really be. But then it brings us to the sales, order page, and confirmation. So a lot of these things can also be done for an automated webinar. But in an automated system, it's bypassing and going right to the webinar, sales page, order page, confirmation. But depending again where they watch or don't watch or whatever, these emails start going out, bringing them back to here, and also the sales page. So if they saw the offer, we want to bring them to the sales page, like, hey, get it now before the price goes up. So, as a recap, we'll kind of go back through this real quick. Introduction, we want to be dog whistling. We want to call out our prospect. We want to provide a hook, how to X without, or how to get desire without frustration. Okay, and then we want to provide value. We don't want to overdo it and give everything away. We also want to keep things simple, right? Okay, now indoctrination, we want to do things like provide a video, or even just like a letter, or like a sales letter maybe, of objections and overcoming those objections, Q&A, case studies, and you could even do things like behind the scenes, what you do on a daily basis, maybe with your clients or just in general, to provide just more of a human sense to your business. And so we just want to indoctrinate them with what it is that we're trying to pitch on the webinar. And then the invitation is our call to actions, our stack, and then re-pitching, asking for the offer. But again, all of this is still very simple. We don't want to overcomplicate any of it. It can be very distracting, okay? And cause you a bunch of time. You'll never get it done, and it'll never be as good as you think it should be, especially if you're trying to make it super pretty. There's always something better. So that's it for today. Go to callwithshane.com if you want to learn more. There's a free 30-minute training that's going to teach you how to find your audience, speak to them directly, build a simple sales funnel that converts, and follow up with them in perfect timing to keep them coming back to your offers and to your webinars. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for attending, so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash up that like button, give it a heart, whatever it is. Subscribe to my channel. Join the sales funnel discussion group every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where I'm going to be teaching you webinars, sales funnels, email automation, and advertising. So, love y'all, peace, love, and more sales.